So I did a previous video about this tractor where it's been sitting 25 years in the storage, not started. And I got this thing running. So this thing had tracks, it had a sickle mower. So while I've been searching for parts for a sickle mower, I found this plow that goes with this tractor. So I thought I don't know, let's just start this video with me trying out this plow. I'm not sure if I have all the parts for this plow. If you want the complete backstory, watch the previous video about me getting this out of storage and started. I will put a link in the description or comments for that. So. Vi måste gå och söka den. So apparently there's another plow for that also, and that plow has the attachment needed to connect, well, this plow I have now. So we need to find the other plow in order to connect this plow. This was the piece we're missing. I think I have something similar to this in that pile of stuff. This do look kind of worn out. Guess it was used a lot. I can see all the welding there. They done here. So when searching for all this stuff, we even find more stuff. So now we find the tool used back in the days for picking up potatoes. So this is apparently a potato picker. You pull that with a tractor from that side. Well, I guess, yeah, the wheels are driving that thing. Just throwing up the potatoes. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure. Maybe this is also missing a lot of parts, so I don't want to take too much projects at once. You can see some old text there. Can't really read that though, but that is saying Arvikaverken, Sweden. Part of me kind of want to try this too. Maybe we're gonna check this out later. Just maybe. We'll see. So now just lifting that on. There was another one there, I didn't see that. So this thing was for picking up hay back in the day in the barn. Just lift it there and these are all gripping the hay. For some reason this thing reminds me of Starship Troopers, that movie.
Ta den här. Bortom här och sätter du dit.
Är det original till Porschen?
Ja, jag tror nästan det.
So just when I thought I just had one plow for this, well, now we have three. Gramps thought that this plow here was actually used before the tractor, when they had horses. That this is a plow meant for horse. So this is not meant for the tractor. This, on the other hand, he thought was the original plow, but with this tractor. Not sure about this. That was used for the potatoes. That he knew about. So the attachment for the plow. So this one had the attachment, but I did have this in the pile there. So I had a spare attachment. The only thing I didn't have was this pin here. So I'm gonna take from this. Look how nicely this still spins. This have a grease nipple though, so we're gonna try getting some grease there. We're just gonna do this like that. Okay, that is not fitting there, so we're not gonna do it like that. I also found this stick in my pile there. So I'm thinking that should go in this and just in the back here. That will take up so this will get pushed this way. And that is taking up that force. There is a marking on this plow here on the back side. I don't know what that says though. But A/S seems to be from Denmark. Ska du provköra den? Ska du visa hur man gör?
den här hör i skogen. Stegra traktorn. Ett V-lass bak i. Den steg så mycket så jag tryckte av den här. Den böjdes neråt hit. Och att den inte for längre bak, det var därför att skärmarna de var där bak och tog emot så hjulet åkte upp. Den slutade ta i backen. Då for den inte längre, men det stod så här, nosen uppåt.
Well, it works, but there's a reason that they built 4-wheel drive tractors nowadays. So last time he did this was in the 60s. Then they bought a bigger tractor. So next thing to try is this sickle mower here. The problem is that I never found the connection. So this part is going in here. And from this, there's supposed to be a metal part gripping this, then a wooden part, and then a metal part that gets connected to this. I never found that thing. I'm gonna go give it another try, searching for that in the barns. There's a lot of places to search through, so let's do that. So I'm diving around in the attic of a barn here. I started to find some stuff. So I found another cutting blade for that sickle mower. This one feels a little sharper. I also found, well, a piece of one. Seems to have been broken off there. And this stick. So this stick is gonna get connected. Well, I still need to find the thing that gets connected here and then to the stick. And there's also another thing on the stick to the actual tractor, so I still need to find that. I also found myself a helmet here. Could be my new blasting helmet. So this was what they had before buying that tractor. This is all horse stuff that got obsolete when they bought that tractor later on. Whatever that is. Oh, that's cool. Bunch of old electronics. I don't know what this is. Looks like a remote detonator. Yeah, so I also found this. This is the missing headlight that's going there on the on the left side. Oh, well, it is broken though. I don't know where the glass is. I don't think I gotta put that on. Not right now anyway. It's a little bit over a week later now. So I was contacted by a viewer that lives in Germany. So previously, in the previous video to this, I said I was missing the part for that sickle mower. At that time, I was also missing the wooden part that goes there. I didn't find that. I found that now though, but I'm still missing the metal part. I couldn't find that in any barn. It is somewhere there, I know. But I'm kind of tired diving around in those barns. So anyway, he sent me this. This is supposed to be the missing part I'm needing, so we're gonna check that. He also had a tractor like this before, but sadly had to sell that. Well, so thank you to Jörg for sending me this. Okay, so this is the wooden piece that I found. It seems to be kind of the same length. This looks a little, it kind of goes in here, but does this matter in any way? This missing, I don't think so. It doesn't feel like that should be a problem. This is going on here. That is supposed to spin like that. I just realized I never even tried it if this works. It should work. Why shouldn't it work? Yeah, we're gonna leave that a mystery until we get this started. You can even see some part numbers now. Imperial to fit as made in England. So there should be a certain way this should go. Like that, or like that. I'm gonna go with the, oh yeah, there's a part number there also. So this, yeah, I'm gonna go with the part number pointing up. Should be logical that way. I put some grease there. So, kind of a loose fit. Should it be a loose fit or should it be a tight fit? I don't know. Should be good. Should this be on that side? No, that can't be. Maybe this should be the other way now when I start looking. Like that little knob is supposed to hit that thing to stop it from coming out. Logically, you will think that you should mount parts with the part number up, but okay, that's adjustable. So this, I strongly believe, is going here. This is a piece that the cab has been connected to. I don't need that right now. There we go. Oh, then we got this part. So what is this used for? Is this just used for lifting this up? What is this? Here we have something. This should probably go in there. Oh, you need to release this maybe. Oh, so then you can. It really started raining outside. Oh, that's hail coming down. We can look at that. like the first snowstorm of this season. It feels a little wrong seeing snow now. Kind of a big pile. Oh, that is touching there. So, like that. Oh, the chain is probably... I think the chain is for... Why is it locked up like that? Maybe something has been sitting here. You just lock the chain to have that. Gonna clean this. Oh, there. A lot of old grass. So this is some hay that was fed to the cow back in the 60s. A lot of that. Let's clean that. Oh, small stuff left there. Okay, let's mount this thing here. So this is gonna get stuck there, so let's hold for that. Okay, so let's try this. We're releasing this, I think. Yeah. Okay, that is sliding that down. I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't think there's anything else. Now you just drive and cut the grass. And then when you, oh, I want to go home, I lock that back in position. So I believe they did it like this. Then just through a hole here. Like that. start here. Give it a try. It's gonna be interesting. Looks like it's not taking everything, but this is just loose stuff. So this stuff just gets collected here and it doesn't stop cutting. Yeah, I'm not putting my finger here on the thing. It's stuff to hide. Here. This isn't cut now. I'm kind of new to all this farming stuff. Works. Oh, it kind of works until it starts collecting in the front. Then it doesn't work. Any good. We're gonna go check on that. Engine brake with this when you're going downhill, because this is just gonna slide otherwise. This, try to brake. This thing is just going faster at acceleration. Yeah, engine brake it downhill. It's a good thing. So first when I started using this, it was no problem at all. It just kept on cutting there. But after a while, it started collecting grass, and the grass in front of this was pushed down, so it was run over rather than cut. You can see the yellow hay here. It's just dead grass that's starting to collect here. That is one reason why it's clogging up. So this play here is rather big for this blade. So there's a lot of play here. Feels like that should be smaller. One other reason is the knives here. They aren't really sharp. See, what if we try to sharp this? These are kind of dull there. I got another place I want to try this on with, well, heavier stuff, not as much of this grass as it was there. There is a box with new blades. There's supposed to be a box of new blades, but yeah, it's just the finding them that's the problem. But there are supposed to be. Let's get this out. So one more thing before going out with this is that I want to connect a start button. As it is right now, I just using the plus that's coming down here from the battery straight to the solenoid to get the start motor running. But in order to do that, I need to leave the driver's seat. I want to be able to start this from the driver's seat. So I did buy myself a button for this. This is supposed to be the closest to an original button you can get replacing this, because this is not working. If I understand this correctly, how this is supposed to be originally is that this is for the horn. It's not meant for a start button. I thought it was a start button at first. This is the start button. The first step is for the glow plug. You're gonna see it here. And then you pull it further on to get the start motor engaged. That button doesn't work. So what I'm thinking is that I'm just gonna pull cables from the positive on the battery onto the solenoid and having this button laying here so I can start it for now. I kind of want to replace all the electronics in this. So all the cables that is right now, it needs to be replaced if I'm gonna get all of this working. And also some buttons. It would be fun getting this indicator to work. So that is sensing the oil pressure if the fuel level is low. Not sure what the rest are. Maybe that's ignition for one. So this key kind of works. So I guess that's for putting on the ignition, glow plug, start, horn, light maybe. So that could be a future project for this, replacing all the electrics, making the original buttons work, the indicators, stuff like that. We could make that happen this winter maybe. So the tracks we're gonna try after we try this sickle mower is something I also want to try when it's snow outside. I heard stories about that, how they was going there on the snow with this and didn't sink down. I want to see if that's true. I mean, this thing is light. It should just go on the snow there, but I kind of want to test that myself. So we could give the tracks a test on the snow, replacing all the electrics in this. Could be a fun winter movie to make in a few months, but we're gonna, let's install this temporary for now. Couldn't find my plier that's meant for squeezing these, but it's kind of a standard thing to use. You can't really go slow with these burners. It's just too much heat. So, just so it doesn't fall in there, so it kind of stays like that. That's good. So this is gonna get connected to the solenoid. It's gonna take power from the starter. Okay, so when pushing the button now, this is taking power from that, going through the button and engaging the solenoid, which is sending power to the start motor there. That works. Having this sharpened, that actually helped a lot. But I still managed to get a lot of hay collected here. So apparently speed is a thing. You're not supposed to drive as slow as I did. So when, well, you could see when my uncle was driving this that it went much better having some speed coming there. And just when things started to get stuck in this, just stop, back up, and just drove off again. So next thing to try now is these tracks. That's something I've been eager to try. It's gonna be a feeling driving with these. So this track here is not gonna go over the front tire due to, well, I guess that axle is just too weak. I think Gramps said something about that. I'm not sure if it was that they had it like that first and they broke off the front axle, or that they heard you're not supposed to do that because it will break off the front axle. The way you steer this if you have it over the front axle is that you use the brakes. As it is right now, both brakes are engaged, and if you take up this little thing there, you can use them separately. We're gonna need to remove this. So this is just a holder for the fenders. That's why I never reinstalled them after taking them off in the previous video. And we're gonna get rid of that. There's a lot of, I think the threads are broken on that since they used all these washers. Oh, that doesn't look good. Well, that we can keep, I guess. We'll leave it down for now. So these back holes are not in a really good condition here. You can see this one is totally, it looks like they've gone through with a torch cutter here, getting that off. You can see straight down in the oil here. So that's not a good thing. I'm gonna try to see if we can reuse this old pin bolt. Let's try this. Yeah, so in order to get this stuck there again, I'm just gonna lock this in with 2 nuts so I can screw that down. Just lock it. I'm gonna throw some thread lock onto this so it really gets stuck and sealed so there's no water coming in there. We can put a lot of this. I don't want anything going down in the oil though. Yeah, that's a big dab. This should be sealed also. Oh, let's get that down there. So the problem now is just that this bolt is getting kind of low when I got that all the way in there. I think that's good. Let's get that off. How is this? Oh. How is this supposed to set? But you can see this bolt is not long enough. This is something that should need to get fixed. It feels like there's a lot of work doing that though. You can see how crooked all the bolts are. Well, I guess we can still try this without fixing that. Even though this is too short, it's still gonna supply stability when going like that. And that is going here. I must say I got a little bit confused seeing the spring like this and this part here, meaning that it's springing upwards. And that thing got me a little bit confused until I realized that this spring is supposed to be on the back side here, meaning that I have to remove this, and this thing that's holding that in order to get the spring in. So there's a lot of removing stuff to get everything here working. Those stuck. Yes, they are. It's better to leave these here. Oof. Ah, it's another bolt. We're gonna remove that when this tire is gone. Gonna put that on first. So this is gonna sit there on the back side like this, so it can. There we are. So I had to go and get these tires new. They were totally rotten out, so. Okay, so something I'm not sure on is bolts. So I'm building a bolt assortment right now. So that I got. Let's see, we got a... Yeah, a new bolt like this kind of... it got the wrong color. You kind of want that a little rusted, but well, it's better than nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna lift the entire thing up so that falls down in its bottom position. Meaning that we're gonna get this as tight as possible. And then when lowering it down and that is pushed up, this is gonna get tight. And I'm just gonna find something to get this stuck here. Oh, I can't tighten that anymore, so we're gonna... that. And that is also too close. Okay, let's go with that then. I think maybe that is enough. Try that. Well, we're gonna leave it like that and test with that setting. So the pattern on the tire now is opposite of what it should be. That shouldn't matter now. On each of these, there's a little blob here that's meant to give traction. If the track gets stuck onto something, the wheel would just start spinning otherwise inside the track. So that's what these are for. So this is going here. That's so. So I really like the look of this. It's gonna be fun just driving out on a bog, testing this. Gotta do the other side now. So we're gonna get rid of the sickle mower, the plow, this thing. There's a lot of things you need to remove in order to get the track here. But we might as well, I'm just gonna do a time lapse of this. So we can put in some suitable music in the, in the time lapse of putting the tracks on this side. I can just imagine my great grandfather, how he sat there at the dinner table, 1959, listening to the radio, a late 60s song, looking at the brochure of this and ordering that. Start off. Okay, let's pause the music here for a bit. So it's like this side is going to keep the track together with this bolt only. Nothing other is stuck there. Oh well, yeah, the thing going around here also though. Oh well, let's keep continuing. Done. Better. Seeing how well this performs on a wet track. This is still too dry. We gotta find something better. This is no match. We gotta give it a test here. This sure looks wet. Okay, so I think we might know the limit now. This was softer than I thought it would be, but oh, it's good ground here. It's just that little piece left, and I kind of want to just. Oh, I didn't bring any. Why didn't I do that? The thing that got this stuck, well, except me being out on a wet bog, is that so that thing is hard, that thing is soft. So it's kind of just want to slide. When it starts to slide like this, it's really hard getting that up again. I should have taken this straight over, not on the side like I did there. I'm not sure why I did that, but I should have done that. So yeah, now we know. Now we know. So I had to walk back to the garage. I went and got myself an axe and straps. I'm hoping that is gonna solve my problem. Think we can get it unstuck with that. Normally, if having a toolbox on a tractor like that, you would have an axe and straps, but it's not really meant for that anymore. You can see a lot of cloud darts when you walk here, but all of them is starting to go bad. Oh well, they are going bad now. That is a little wrinkly, but it's, yeah, they're not really fresh anymore. So you can see a lot of them here. Wonder if this holds. Yeah, it's kind of strong still. I believe in that. Yeah, so without tension on one of the tracks, so it's kind of just spinning inside the tracks there. There's no point. It's just going deeper and deeper, and I don't want it to go beneath the oil stick. Then we're gonna have a big problem, because then I'm not gonna be able to start it. Well, this was an interesting situation, I must say. At least I tried those tracks. Can't deny that. Not sure if I'm gonna get close enough with this. This is kind of a gamble here. I'm not gonna take any risk with this machine though, going too close. Rescuing something like this in the forest, that is gonna be a problem. Get out on the side here. That's the only way. So what I'm thinking now is, so well, there's the excavator. We're gonna come in here. You can kind of feel there is still kind of hard ground. That's not hard ground. Here it's kind of hard again. I don't want to get it more than here. That thing doesn't need much, it just needs a little scooch to get up there. Well, almost 2 strips. I just gotta go a little bit more forward. It's kind of soft, just here it's better, so. Yeah, this is 5 tons. That should hold for this. I don't think it's gonna take that much. Just with this I can lift it straight up and pull. I think that's what's needed here. There it comes. Autonomous drive. I gotta get rid of my diff lock I have here. So in order to lock the differential of this, you need to pull down this lever here. So I guess we can take this off. Every time I've seen that, I've been thinking I should take that off. So let's just do that now. Poor little tractor. I gotta change all the oils again in this. Engine oil, transmission oil, steering oil, and in both reductions there. You never know if it got in water there. So this track, I mean, it was kind of loose before going out, but I think this thing got pushed in a little bit, making this really loose, so the tire wouldn't grip anymore. But I'm still kind of amazed with the ability of this, just driving over everything, barely leaving a track when it does that, compared to the excavator. That surely made tracks. Overall, it worked really good. Maybe in the future, when the snow arrives, we need to go out with this, bringing some log home, making something with it. Okay, so a little short history about that little tractor we could include is that 1943, my great-grandfather, he bought a horse. That horse was operational until 1959. I'm not sure if that meant, or if it was too old. So that's why he bought that little Junior tractor in 59. That tractor was used then from 59 until 1970 approx, because Gramps bought, I think just in the beginning of the 70s, he bought a David Brown 850 tractor. Since this little thing, I mean, that is kind of small, so, but it was still used from now and then. But this is the year from when that tractor was actually used for everything on the farm and in the forest and stuff like that. At 61, when the tractor was bought, I think my great-grandfather bought the tracks for that then, and the main reason for buying them then was to make winter roads. So just when the snow arrived now in the fall, he went out and flattened the ground in order to make the cold shoot down, making really stable winter roads there. He did that a lot. He also been hauling in a lot of Scots pine with that thing, with the tracks. So, but in 1961, my grandfather went to the military. The Cold War was kind of a thing then. He was working on a boat, on a Hunter Holland, as a torpedo man. So if you heard my uncle when he was driving with the sickle mower, just shouting torpedo man, he was just telling me the story about how he was in the military working as a torpedo man at the time when his brother, he was cutting there before, and it was apparently a really good summer and the grass was really high and stuff like that. So that's why my uncle was telling me that story. So yeah, the rumor says that in 62 they sunk this tractor in a lake when there was towing home Scotch pine from some wet bog or over a lake, and this sunk with that thing. I think they done it 2 times. That thing has been in the bottom of a lake. So I mean, that thing has had a really tough life. It hasn't been sitting around. That's that. See you next time.